Okay, pull up a chair because this one is not a leadership tip. This is a conversation I would have with you if we were sitting across from each other after a long shift. And I finally decided to say something. I've been watching you and you need to hear this. This one is about what is happening to you right now without you realizing it. I want to tell you about Carol. Carol was not a bad person. I need you to hear that first because what I'm about to tell you about her is, and I need you to receive it the way I mean it, which is with love and with the kind of honesty that only comes from someone who has stood exactly where you are standing. Carol had been in retail 11 years. She knew the floor better than anyone, hit her numbers consistently, made corporate comfortable every time they walked in the door. And when the district manager needed someone fast, Carol got the call. Not because she had been developed for it, because she had been there the longest. And here is where I need you to stay with me, because what happened to Carol is not a story about a bad leader. It is a story about what this industry does to good people when it hands them responsibility without preparation. Carol got the title, Carol got the keys, Carol got 14 people looking to her for direction, development, and leadership. And Carol got nothing else. No framework, no coaching, nobody sitting across from her the way I am sitting across from you right now saying, here is what leading people actually requires before you expect anything from them. So Carol did only one thing she knew how to do. She survived. She micromanaged because trusting felt too risky. She avoided the one-on-ones because she did not know how to have them without getting uncomfortable. She even pulled back from team members who showed potential because somewhere underneath that title was an insecurity she had never been given the tools to deal with. And I need you to hear what that looked like from the outside, because from the outside, it looked like a leader who did not care. But from the inside, it was a person who was terrified and had no system to fall back on. And her team felt that every single day. The new hire who came in ready to work left 90 days early, disengaged. The high performer who stopped raising their hand because raising it felt like it wasn't going anywhere. The team member who needed someone to invest in who they were becoming and got a manager who was too overwhelmed to see past the next shift. And they took everything Carol never dealt with into their own stores, into their own teams, into their own floors. And here's the part I need you to sit with. You might be doing some of this right now, not because you are Carol, but because somewhere in your leadership journey, somebody handed you keys and walked away. And you have been figuring out in real time ever since. And I do not say that to make you feel better. I say it because it is true and because I think you need to hear it from someone who was standing in the same place and found a way through. I had Carol tendencies. Early in my leadership, I micromanaged because I did not trust the process. I avoided the hard one-on-ones because I did not have a framework to use them. I missed opportunities to develop people right in front of me because I was too focused on surviving my own role to see what my team actually needed from me. And I had a version of Carol above me too. So I know what it feels like on both sides of the conversation. I know what it feels like to be underdeveloped and asked to lead. And I know that it costs people standing beneath you when that happens, which is exactly why I'm telling you this. Not to make you feel like you are failing, to make you feel like you can fix it. Starting right now, before it compounds into something harder to undo. Here is what I need you to understand. And I mean really understand, not just nod at it. Toxic leadership is almost never intentional. It is inherited. Nobody developed you before they expected you to lead. You do not automatically find a better way. You lead from what you absorb, from the culture you came in, from the version of leadership that was molded for you, whether it was worth modeling or not. And most of us came up in that environment that prioritized performance over people, numbers over trust, compliance over connection. So that is what we duplicate. Not because we choose it, because it was the only template we ever were handed. But here is what I need you to hear from me as someone who is in your corner. You are not just managing a shift. You are building a template that someone else is going to carry forward. Every team member you develop, every hard conversation you invest in, every moment you choose to build someone's character alongside their performance, that goes somewhere. It goes into the leader they become. And every moment you do not, that goes somewhere too. So the question is not whether you are leaving a legacy on your floor. You already are. The question is what kind. Because here is the truth that changed everything for me. You cannot pour into your team from an empty leadership identity. You cannot build a genuine trust with the team if you were never taught what trust in leadership actually looks like. You cannot develop someone's character if nobody invested in yours first. You cannot lead one-on-one conversations that actually change someone if your version of a one-on-one is performance review and signature on the line. The empathy, the connection, the investment in the whole person, not just the performing one. That is the softness. That is the most disciplined form of leadership that exists. And it starts with you deciding that the cycle Carol was trapped in stops here, on your floor, with your team, because the leader you are choosing to become right now. The most powerful thing you will ever do as a leader is to develop a person who goes on to lead their floor the way you led yours. That is the work. That is what this is all about. So here is what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, not after your next shift, not when things slow down, because things are not going to slow down. Right now, I want you to think about one person on your team, not the one giving you the most problems, not the one with the best numbers, the one with the most potential that you have not invested in yet. The one who came in ready and started to pull back. The one who was waiting for a leader to tell them they see something worth developing. That person deserves what Carol never got, and you are capable of being that leader. The discipline leader system was built for exactly this moment. It gives you the framework to develop people before you expect anything from them, to build trust before you build standards, to lead one-on-ones that actually change someone, not just elevate them, because you cannot retain what you never developed. And right now, there is a person on your floor who is waiting to find out whether you are going to be Carol or the leader Carol never had. Grab the discipline leader system right now in my bio and drop a name Carol in the comments if any part of this hits closer than expected.